everybody. Welcome back to Two Exiles, One Portal. I am Mr. Coffee, joined by Casper, as always. What's up, man?
I got bad news, bro. I got bad news, bro. I got some bad news. I mean, I got good news for like other
Depends.
people. I got bad news for you.
Depends, How so?
So I had a lot of time over the weekend to read. Because unfortunately I couldn't play. I was down. I was a little sick. Um, so I was mostly just like between sleeping and reading on my phone. And I've been trying to catch up on a lot of the news for the new Path of Exile 2 patch coming out, the Dawn of the Hunt. And I know how you feel. I already know. I'm gonna do my best not to turn this episode into a hate episode. I'm gonna do my best. So for you guys that are listening out there, to like, oh no, this is gonna turn into another one. Like, give us timestamps. No timestamps for you. No timestamps for you. If you gonna bear this, you can either you ride with us, or, or what do you say? What's the saying that you say? Uh,
Live for the streets or die for the streets?
yes. You know what I mean? Like either you just go along with us for a ride or you don't. Ain't no halfway crooks here. Um, so there is a lot coming down the pipeline. However, the best way I can summarize this before we get into the weed for those who are going to be listening to this that don't got like an hour and a half to like listen to the whole thing. This is your TDLR. For those of you wondering what we feel about this, and this is my opinion, and then we'll go through it. There is nothing in this patch that either me or Coffee give two flying apples or fucks about.
Super none. I know y'all can't see my face right now, obvious, but man, I just don't give two rats ass. Just for some slight background, I just listened to our good homie here just break down all the reading that he's done to me, a little early. I get to hear all this shit, and I don't think I've ever been less interested in something he said.
I, it was torture for me because I'm talking with like a little enthusiastic, and he's like, wow,
And
like
I
I
feel
could
bad
almost
because it's not
hear,
your fault.
yeah, I could almost hear like, you gonna keep talking, bro? Like, come on, like I'm trying to give you some. It's like a woman when you're on a date with a woman and she wants you to just shut up, let her talk. Gosh, that was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
It's just it's again, it's not your fault even. Like that's why I'm trying to I was doing my best to humor you and just be like, yeah, like it's just it has nothing to do with you. It's just, dude.
this puts us as content creators in a very difficult spot, and I want everyone to listen to this because we really want to make positive content for these two
The games
games,
we love.
right? But it's very hard when we don't feel like the things that we love about that game or this game are being addressed. And until those things happen and until we authentically feel great about the product, it's it's impossible to make good content into it. Like we're not shills. We're not being paid. We're not being paid by GGG. We're not getting special, treatment by GGG to say, "Oh, just cover this positively." No, it feels like needles in my eyes if I play your game. And I only have 3 hours of my life to play video games, and I'm not gonna waste it playing yours. Just simple as that.
Yeah.
So understand that for those of you who continue, look so far, look, we're 5 minutes in. 5 minutes in. We haven't even started. Just bear with us. If you're going on this ride, we're gonna do our best. So I'll start with this. I gave you a synopsis, but I'm gonna start from top to bottom. Um, they're releasing obviously the Huntress. Huntress looks like a female monk. I'm not gonna lie to you. Combo breaker. Like that's what the character looks like. It looks like a female monk. Um, I love. I think the monk is fun. I think that combo thing might have a good spirit and a good direction in Path 2 so far based on the monk's playability. However, depending on how they scale it upon, depending on how it works, I don't know. I can't be. I can't. I don't have no hope for the warrior because, oh my gosh, that hurts. That warrior hurts. The gameplay style. Um, there is some hope with the new class coming in because apparently the new class is like I'm a. Oh, you played League of Legends, right?
Yep.
What is the character that modifies and helps build people's equipment?
Orn?
Orn. That that's Orn class. But instead of other people's equipment, he messes with his own equipment. He like modifies his own equipment, his own fixes. He can basically give himself just a crazy amount of cold resist, a crazy amount of whatever. You know what I mean? Like he just that's what he does. That's his class, and as well as other things. But he either can give himself a crazy amount of attack or a crazy amount of defenses, or a combination of both, depending on his like. That's his whole thing. Now, I do find that to be a bit cool. I don't know how you like cliche was gonna be and how he's gonna turn out. I'm not a good theory crafter for those of you wondering, like, oh, you know, you are you gonna be
It's actually going to be pretty awesome if I imagine it the way I think. You'll be able to just like ignore finding certain shit.
yeah, um, for
Sorry.
no, that's fine. You're Mr. Coffee. Um, the for those of you wondering why his name is Mr. Coffee.
That's why.
um, the a lot of the theory crafters and that I've seen comment on this build have been saying like there is crazy. It's gonna be the best one. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh okay, maybe. Like whatever. I'll see it when I see it. So don't take my word for it. Whatever. Take someone else expert. So that's what it is. Now, so the classes are gonna be there. They're gonna be eye candy. Is it gonna be enough to bring us back? I know your answer is no. I know your answer is no. I'm a maybe only because I just want a taste of the class. I like spears. I'm a D2 player. I remember one of my first most nostalgic experiences with D2 is playing a thunder. What's it called? Thunder spear, whatever the hell. I don't know. The names. Man, this is like 30 years ago now at this point. Um, it was just a lightning spear thingy. Amazonian. So it like to relive that nostalgia might be, and I've seen the skill. They had the skill. Oh, so I'm like that's like probably the nostalgia I might chase for a little bit. But I'm not gonna lie, this next piece of information is like literally pushing me away from the game, which is they're not making any modification on, or if any, to the campaign. So for those of you wondering, oh, should I start a new character? You're looking at least a 50-hour campaign. Again, I was pretty fast. My first time, I was pretty slow because I had a slow character. My second time was much faster. I had a monk. I had the money from my first character. I was able to go much faster. And even then, it took me at least 35 to 45 hours. I wasn't able to cut it by much. So understand that you are still looking at about 40 to 50-hour campaign. That's single-handedly literally telling me like, man, I'd rather go play Baldur's Gate. I'd rather play anything else. Like I'd rather go play Last Epoch. Like as much as that
Mm,
game is I love and hate, but it's
I'll just
like
play Path One.
that too. That's another thing about this. Like someone pointed this out on Reddit. In the last year and a half, there's only been one league,
Yeah.
and they're not making any news about any new leagues. And maybe then, but in the next week and a half, the event is almost over. They're gonna have to announce something for Path One, maybe by we're in April, so maybe by May something comes on the pipeline for Path One. I hope, but it's looking kind of stark right now. It's kind of looking kind of slim right now for Path One. Now, one thing that Jonathan did not mention, he said a lot of things like, "Oh, there's a lot of people working on this. There's a lot of people working on this." He didn't say anything about Path One as far as who's working on what. He said that the people that were working on Path Two went back to Path One. He did not say that. So as far as what's going on with Path 1, they did not talk about it at all. All they focused on was Path 2 during these three updates. For those of you wondering, what about Path 1? So, we don't know yet. What we do
Yep.
know
No
is that,
new information down the pipeline about that yet.
what we do know is that Path 2 is going to be great, apparently. But everything they're
I don't know
telling
if I
us,
believe it.
everything they're telling us so far, it means that it's not going to be great. Here I go. They've added a host of new skills, a host of new support skills, and blah 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 blah. However, they're nerfing ES, right? If those of you
Hmm.
wondering, oh, that doesn't sound bad. I can just do other defenses. Right now, the best defense in the game is you killing everything instantly.
Yep. And I think right behind that is like what? Evasion, because you can turn it into all of your resist and ES.
Hmm.
Like, okay, sure.
So they're nerfing
Uh,
ES. There has literally no word, nothing about armor changing as far as effectiveness, as far as the value system, as far as how to get more of it. There's no change coming down the pipeline. There, even when it was mentioned in a post reveal interview with ZD, they pretty much said like, yeah, they gotta take a look at it. That means they're not even looking at it, brother. They're not even. It's not even on their radar yet. They don't even know heads or tails what to do with it. So we may not see a change to armor and armor values and defenses until at least for release, or maybe the next big patch for Path, which I doubt it. But because if they haven't even looked at it, I mean that may be a lot of coding that they have to really dig into, like what's going on with it. However, what they are also nerfing is the health values of most endgame pinnacles, rares, and bosses. But they are also capping, and I could be saying this wrong, I could be understanding this wrong, but from my understanding, they're capping the endgame damage of players. So this, I think it's the ceiling, I believe. The language they used was a little like vague, but also intentional vague. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not smart enough. I don't have a path of exile degree to read between the tea leaves here. And the few people I've looked at that talked about this kind of had a similar inkling. For those of you wondering, oh, who did you look up? Talkative Try, I think Fapgun. I don't think Kids. I don't think Ziz did anything on it. I could be wrong though, but I didn't see anything. I think I watched a little bit of Gazzy as well. Um, just to give different perspectives to see if I heard what I heard. Um, so yeah, one thing they mentioned too is that they're trying to not be as reactionary to the patches. So they're gonna let things mellow out a little bit before they patch something. I don't know what
Mm.
that is. I don't get that. I don't. What do you mean? The game was on fire. Like, what do you mean you're not gonna react to it? She's gonna be like, ah, let's let it burn. Just let it burn. Just see what happens. See a tree grows out of it. I don't know what that means. Um,
I don't know what any of the shit that they've been doing recently means, to be completely honest. It's just like I, it's really interesting how quickly my particular goodwill for it burned. Like, I guess it's mainly I feel like they fucked over my favorite thing, telling me that this new thing wasn't gonna affect my favorite thing, and then the new thing is just not what I want, so I have no interest in that. Like, and no content for my favorite thing, and it's just like we gotta fix the new thing. I don't give a fuck about your new thing, dude. Like, you fucked up the. I don't know, man.
yeah.
I don't know.
To speed along this, so we don't actually make this a crazy long video. Um, no news on Druid, Druid, no Druid. Some theories say that the Druid is not coming until release. Some say maybe in next big patch. This is roughly. Oh, that's another thing I should say. That big patches are only going to come every 3 months now. So after this, do not expect a big match adding any actual content until 3 months from now. So we're looking at August at release, at least August, July, give or take. Because there might be delays, there might be whatever, whatever. Anything in between is going to be a little just quality of life, which they classify as any kind of affinities, any kind of stash tabs, any kind of. Now I'm wondering if they're going to sell stash tabs during early access. You think they would do that?
I don't know at this point, bro.
I don't know. That being said, when it comes to money, something that okay, this is worth mentioning. I haven't mentioned anything about the maps in the end game. They're changing a lot of that too. So they're changing the variety of the maps, the sheer amount of content in the maps themselves. So you're now able to juice the, sh- the shit out of the map essentially using tablets and towers. So each tower can add up to 3 tablets. Each tablet can add a lot more modifiers and a lot more content. So you're looking at a lot more dense, and then each tower is going to cover larger areas of the your atlas or whatever map that I don't even is it called the atlas? I don't remember. Um,
I don't know what it's actually called in the new game.
yeah, I don't remember. Um, let's just call it atlas for now. So the new
For
atlas.
simplicity's sake, yeah.
Yeah. So that's to be seen at how that reacts. One of the important things about that I mentioned, which is part of the quality of life change that they're adding, is that they're looking for one of their first quality of life patches to be is bookmarks.
Mm.
They realize that the map is really big and sometimes it takes a lot of scrolling, a lot of like panning, basically.
Yeah.
So they're gonna start adding bookmarks to areas in that you kind of want to focus on, so you can kind of pan back and forth and swap back and forth based on whatever you're working on, whether or not you're I don't know, you're farming breach over here, but you're farming delirium on this side, whatever, right? That's kind of what they want to do. Um, it sounds interesting. It sounds excessive to me. Like it feels like it's a solution to a problem you created. Like you created this monster as far as the map is concerned. But now you're realizing it's like, oops, like this is a lot. So now you're
It's
creating,
just it's a lot of stuff
yeah. So
that's not working quite well, or at least not the way they intended. Maybe.
uh-huh. Um, so yeah, it's. I'll see, I'll see. For those of you wondering, Path of Exile has to officially become profitable for them, so it's not going away. Like for those of you wondering, like, oh my God, what's the future of Path of Exile? It's staying. Tencent is super happy. Like the game made bank. Uh, Based on approximate sales, the game made about $100 million, and it made a significant amount of profit on it. So I'd wager at least 120 mil, maybe. You know, you know. Hey, uh, they're happy. So production and development is going to continue going forward for the next foreseeable future. Now, what we don't know is if is Path of Exile 2 overshadowing profitability of Path of Exile 1. We don't know. We don't know. They don't. Those numbers don't get revealed to us or anyone, so we really don't know. However, what we do know is based on just information that I provide to you is that Path of Exile 2 will continue moving forward.
And that's it should be, right? It should do rather.
Well, I mean, it begs the question if it was a complete flop.
No,
No?
no, at least not to me,
Okay.
because of the simplicity of the fact that a lot of slop is a commercial success these days.
Ah.
I hate to say it, and I hate to put it in that kind of light to where I'm just like, yeah, all of it's shit. Like, well, at this point, dude, the number of games that come out a year versus the number of games that are good versus the number of games that are coming out from AAA that are good versus the number, double A, breaking
Mhm.
it all down, dude, there are way too many games coming out, and the competition and the competition for our attention spans is way too high.
Looking at you, Veilguard.
Like, there's you have to come up with something like super solid, and because every game, no matter what, is going to have critical responses and critical feelings about. But it's
I gotta get this off I gotta get this off my chest because the more I look at it right now, the more it pisses me off.
Mhm.
I just mentioned I'm looking at you, Veilguard, right? And I bought Veilguard, and I played enough of it, and I wasn't able to refund it, right? But I played enough of it, and like I kept trying to give it a chance. I tried giving it a chance. I kept going to give it a chance, and it just dawned about me, right? 'Cause I've been playing Baldur's Gate more, and I'm like, why does this game, and thinking about Veilguard, resemble sometimes like it tried to take a page out of Baldur's Gate and just like completely shit the bed. Now it's a completely different game because it's not turn based. It's not like like it's not based on D&D. It's not these things. Not that. But the culture, the the incoming doom, the characters, the dialogue, the world, like they really try to capture that and they fucking failed. Even the characters have very similarities as far as like some of their personal problems and how you gotta like manage their relationships. For those of you who wonder, Veilguard is Dragon Age. Veilguard. Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Pause.
It's oh,
Pause real quick.
all right. Sorry for that. Pause. Make sure. Okay, everything good. Uh, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, Veilguard sucks. And I feel like they copied Baldur's Gate 2, and I fucking hate them for it because I fucking bought the game and I fucking hate it. Anyway, go ahead.
Can I be really honest about Dragon Age? And not even Veilguard, just Dragon Age.
What's
I
up?
think I played Inquisition.
Inquisition was pretty bad too,
I
bro.
I hated it. I think I played like 4 hours and was just like, I
Inqu-
can't even get to the quote unquote good part.
yeah, Inquisition's pretty bad. It's it's it's
The
it's the
characters are
start.
not
Yeah,
likable.
it's the
Like,
start of
oh,
when they
oh
start
my
shitting the bed.
god, bro.
I think they start
I
shitting the
was
bed maybe after. Hold on, wait. Let me pull them up. I don't want to butcher this. I don't want to butcher this because I'm a fan of Dragon Age. Dragon Age games. All right. I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for this one.
oh
Okay.
shit. Oops.
So they started shitting the bed. It's only been 4 games. Wow, I actually thought it was more than that. Okay, they shit the bed after two.
Yep.
Yeah, after two, they shit the bed. One was just mwah, chef's kiss. The story was captivating. Like you felt like the hero. Like shit was just on point. Two was like it took it to the next level of like now you even a bigger hero. Like fucking just Don Juan. Like fucking let's do this. And then Inquisition happened. It's just like what the fuck?
It's one of those things where I remember opening up the game and watching like the opening cutscene, right? And I remember like the big explosion, the green explosion. I was just like, okay, cool. It's got me. It's got me for a moment. And then they started talking, and I was just like,
It's
instantly checked out.
yeah bad. It bad. Like storytelling is bad. The dialogue terrible. The lines like just
If there's proof of one thing, is that green explosions equal me interested. Fucking Darktide had green explosions, Vermintide had green explosions, any game with like
the
poison
dark
has green
the
explosions.
whole concept of Dragon Age with the dark spawn is fucking sweet. It's like oh my god. And then the Underdark, not the Underdark, so I forgot what they call it. The Dragon Age calls
I
it
have no
something
idea.
underneath the ground, whatever, with the dwarves are and all. It was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And then it just like it's like the people they hired. I don't want to spit. I don't want to talk shit about these people because they probably worked their ass off. But it's like, who the fuck dropped the ball on this one? And then it got worse on the Veilguard. It got so much worse. It's like it's like watching paint dry the personality that they've instilled in some of these characters.
I have no idea how that's even possible because, like I
Uh,
said, I made it through. I have heard so many people being like, "Oh my god, Dragon Age Inquisition is so good," da, 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 da,
it
da, 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 da,
on a
da,"
good
and it's just
computer,
like,
the Veilguard looks pretty chef's kiss. Ain't gonna lie, it looks nice. It looks nice. If
but
you're
since when do we equate looking nice with a good game? Fucking,
no, but I just gotta give it props. Like give it props for its like graphical beauty and its art and its environments and not just about the way you interact with the environment, the way you navigate it. Like they've added a lot of third, fourth layers that you can go up and down and like little powers to kind of like navigate it. It's just the the one thing that puts Dragon Age above a lot of the other RPG games. It was its story. It was a story. It was nothing else. No one played Dragon Age Origins and 2 for its awesome combat. Like people play Elden Rings and some of those Souls-like games for its combat and some of its story. Am I wrong? I could be wrong about that.
I've only really played those games because of the story, and the only way to get the story is by playing the game because all of the story is in item descriptions.
Okay. I mean, I always look. I've always looked at those games. I never played a Souls game. I'm not a Souls game player. But every time I see someone playing it, I'm thinking to myself like they like that shit because the fucking combat is so unique in those games.
It's crispy.
It's so unique. It's like I've never seen combat like that in any other game. So like that's one of the highlights of those Souls like games. Dragon Age is not one of those games that breaks the mold in any way of like, oh my god, look at this combat. No. But what Dragon Age at the time, Origin and 2 got it right is the story. It was like kind of the original Assassin's Creed.
I thought I find that interesting because I think Assassin's Creed started failing literally on Assassin's Creed 2.
I wasn't talking about 2. I was talking about the original Assassin's Creed.
And even that, like when you watch it back, bro, like that's it's
I
so
remember growing
fucking basic.
it was, but it was kind of like, oh, it kind of get you hype. Got you hype because something new was unique. They were taking risk, and you see this. It was completely off the balls, like unrealistic. But it kind of was like, oh my god, I'm kind of like a ninja, but not really. I'm kind of this like Templar ninja thingy. Like, okay, I could do this. Like, it was cool at the time, and then the perpetual like milking the franchise. um, but at this point, two pretty bad games with Dragon Age. I don't know about BioWare is really putting out some big stinkers. of video games in the past couple what uh 5 6 years, because even the Mass Effect, because they own Mass Effect, and then Mass Effect, the last Mass Effect games that they came out with was like pretty bad, and they went from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 being like again just kind of similar to Dragon Age, like the pinnacle of RPG games. It was like, oh my god, Mass Effect 1 was like pretty good. Mass Effect 2 was like, oh, this is the best one. And they came out with Mass Effect 3 and it was just like, you didn't fuck it up. You made it better? And it was just that was the and the story of Mass Effect is just drop dead gorgeous, and the way the environment they built it, the way they you interact with the environment, the story and everything. And even though it's a linear kind of game, it still makes you feel like your choices matter. But that's not Velguard. That's not Velguard at all.
Well, that's why it ended up doing poorly with Mass Effect. What is it?
Inquisition.
3?
Oh,
Not 3, Mass Effect. And
it.
it's because it kind of took all the things that your fucking previous saves have been about, and all the
Yeah,
characters
yeah,
that you fell in love with, and then turned like the whole thing into inconsequential by turning the end game into literally three colored beams.
yeah. And, and it and that didn't you didn't know that was happening though until the very end, and you get hit with that, and then your whole soul gets crushed. Like, wait. Let me load up a different save and do it again. And then you get a different color beam. You're like, whoa, wait. So it was a lot of disbelief for a lot of people. But while you're playing Mass Effect 3, you're like, oh yeah, this is good. Yeah. So yeah, they ended bad. It ended bad, but I still had lots of fun with Dragon Age 3. Because I didn't
I
know.
had a lot of fun with Mass Effects anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just a Mass Effect fan.
It,
Like, it's one of those things where, like, don't get me wrong. I understand that people were fucking kind of upset with how that shit ended up like laying out. But the game itself was cool, and the background lore of it was so good, it was ridiculous. Like, the people that made that, BioWare, had put so much
soul,
energy
so
into the
much
lore of
soul.
that game.
Yeah, like ridiculous amount of soul. It's like it's almost it's almost as much soul, and I may be making a hot take here. It's almost as much soul as George Lucas in Star Wars. Like, say what you want to say, but there is an ungodly amount of lore within Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, who came up with all this crazy
Well,
lore? And it's just like,
actually, if you'd like, I can tell you what droid, like, they did something rather ingenious when it came to Star Wars and lore. They actually opened it up to other writers, but just gave them rules.
mm,
They're like, you don't touch these characters, you don't touch these particular times, you don't touch these, but the lore ends up becoming like incredibly fucking unique
that's kind
because
of similar
of
how
just
they did
how
the
much.
40K.
Yeah. So you end up with like dozens and dozens and dozens of short stories that end up building up to a very comprehensive lore.
Yeah, that makes sense then. That makes sense. But it's like even it's yeah. So you gotta give you gotta give credit where credit is due when it comes to some of the efforts and the soul that gets put in some of these games. And unfortunately, the decisions that sometimes you don't feel that from some in games. You don't feel that from Dragon Age. The current Dragon Age, you don't feel that at all. You just feel like you're just going through the motions and your choices. All right, okay, so if I choose left, I have to go left. If I choose right, I have to go right. But like, I don't like. It's just. I don't know. I'm getting we're rambling off the way better topics, but it's like,
Better topics. Who the fuck,
um,
like, seriously, who wants to like be invested in fucking Path of Exile right now. Out of the simple fact of just how it's been just mishandled, or at least Path of Exile 2. I feel like it's been mishandled harshly.
Yeah, I actually found a FAQ that I didn't see before we started this episode and we talked about. And I kind of want to read it to you, so I'm reading it right now. The question is, are the microtransactions purchased in Path of Exile 1 available in Path of Exile 2? Right.
Some
This is a March 30th, 2025. This is what they said. If you made purchases on your Path of Exile account in Path of Exile 1 and are logging into Path of Exile 2 with the same account, any purchases that are ready in on Path of Exile 2 will be available there also. We've added a lot of existing microtransactions to Path of Exile 2 in Dawn of the Hunt and will continue to add more over time. Please note that any purchases made on PlayStation platforms cannot be used on other platforms, and purchases made on other platforms cannot be used on a PlayStation platform network. What's going on, PlayStation? Damn, bro. That's some that's some like overseas type kind of situation there. Note that these purchases can still be on the same sub account, but the microtransactions will be marked as unavailable when viewing them in your stash. I didn't see that before. I don't know how true this is because this was not mentioned during the reveal, and I didn't remember. Maybe I missed it during the after interview with Ziggity.
the Q&A.
So yeah, maybe. It says we've added a lot of existing microtransactions to Path of Exile 2 in Dawn of the Hunt 2. So to be determined. Like we'll have to just log in and be like, okay, how many more? Because as of right now, it's not that many. It's like three, at least for mine. But I don't have as many as yours probably.
I'm just mad at how many of my microtransactions haven't been migrated over.
Yeah, I know, I know. That's one of your main beefs. That's, I, I know, I
We promise it's gonna be your stuff.
know.
You lied to me.
um, the other thing I forgot to mention too is the map portal fiasco of of release. For those of you call playing Path 1, you pretty much go on the map, you die, you lose the map. Or Waystone. I keep saying map. I don't like Waystone. I really don't. I like maps. Stop Waystones. Get out of here. Stop it. So you go into Path of Exile 2 map and you die and then you lose the map. You lose progress, you lose everything. That was so harsh. That was so harsh. So they kind of see this as a problem. They're like, okay, they agree. They're like, all right, we don't want to make it too hard, not off the jump. You know, we want you to progress. We want you to kind of play. We want you to have fun. So they're kind of creating a somewhat of a tier system, and I'm butchering this because I'm trying to speed along, but basically what they're gonna do is that white maps are gonna have about approximately I said 5 to 6 portals. Yellow maps are going to have a little less, 4, 3, and then red maps are gonna have between 3 and 2 or 1, right? 3, 2, 1, around that. You know, it's gonna get less as you get closer to T16s. Now, they don't tell you exactly where it caps. If it caps at 13, 14, or what, it doesn't, they don't tell you. But it's going to start capping basically. The higher you go, the less portage you're going to have to complete that map. Um, the idea is that they want to make it significantly harder for end gamers and blasters to really be able to clear. So all that shit that we do as far as like clear the map and then loot, nah. We're gonna have to like take our time, kill shit, loot, kill shit, loot, kill shit, loot, because not one death is that's it.
Ugh,
So
true.
now, my personal opinion is that they're probably like the fact that they've like even caved on this, they'll probably cave on that as well. They'll probably add a few more map for a few more portals. It just doesn't make sense. Why limit the portal thing? That's been such a core feature of Path to have a certain amount of attempts at thing because of the investment value and just the time allotment for the like think about people like me. And I don't ever use anyone else as an example because I ain't know anyone. But if I'm a normal Joe, I work, I have kids, I have a wife, I got 3 hours to play. If I got a certain number of investment and I got a certain number of playtime and I gotta like choose, don't make me spend 30 minutes on a map just to lose my progress. That's gonna feel super bad for me. I want to play your game to have fun. Like, I don't care if I die 30 times. Let me die 30 times. And if I die 30 times, like, okay, I'm not ready for that map. Okay, cool. Let me just walk away. But dying once is like, I could die once because I sneezed or blinked.
Yeah.
Like one is
Phone
like,
call comes in.
yeah, like one means a toddler, my toddler pressed the button, but I wasn't looking, and I come on, like don't do that. This ain't Super Mario, man. Like Super Mario when there's no saves,
This
like
ain't Super Mario.
you know when it's that era, there was no checkpoints, there was no saves. You die, that's it. Like maybe if you have a one up, like you good, but no, man, come on, stop. It's not stop being so mean, guys. Come on, stop. We know you're grinding your games, but come on. The game is hard enough. It really is.
I don't want to play I don't want to play Ruthless. It's just that simple. If I wanted to play Ruthless, I would.
But yeah, so
It has Ruthless.
they added those map portal thingies. Oh,
Good
I
for
guess
them.
I guess I should say basically when you die, you don't have to like pop a portal. It's just gonna show up in the last checkpoint that you pass. And obviously, for those of you who don't know, they added checkpoints across the entire map. So as you go around, you're gonna kind of in their vicinity, you touch them, and then they just save your progress for that rest of the map. As far as their map layouts is concerned, no, they love those jungles, they love those twisty turny, not really linear like pattern like maps. Um,
You know, I never thought I would ever like straight up miss dunes.
because it's not a Dunes is not a I want to hurt my brain. I just want to farm material. That's what I want.
Just put everything in dunes. I fucking love it.
I just made I just did all 50 like I get the I understand the I want you to explore the map. I get that. But if I like one map, give me the choice of playing that one map.
There's 100% the choice. Just buy only one type of ways to.
No, no,
I don't even know if there's a layout like that in the game.
no.
I don't think
There's no
there
such
is.
thing. No, there's no such thing.
Yeah. I don't even
The
remember like
Waystone
a place like
doesn't.
that in the campaign.
Yeah, the Waystone doesn't point to a specific map. The map is on the atlas, and you have to go. Once you do that map, that's it.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Damn, dude. That's how little I have given theory
remember.
to
Yeah,
my fucking brain power. Yeah, you're right. You can't even, wow. That's actually,
I want to do if
wow.
allow me to
That's actually
explore.
more indicative of the problem than you think, I believe.
Yeah,
Because,
because I want to do, let's say I want to do, I found a snow map, right? I love that snow map. I don't care. I don't care if it's a worse map for farming. I love that snow map. I want to keep doing that snow map. Not maybe not because of the variation changes, right? The pattern changes, the RNG. Let me keep doing that snow map. I love, for my character, that map is awesome. But no.
I can even break it down a lot more simple than that, man. Path of Exile 1 is about playing how you want to play.
Hmm. Yeah.
100%.
And
It's
it,
really just if you want to make a build that does nothing but defense and you want to basically reflect damage at attackers, you know what? You can. It's going to be really hard and you're going to be moving really slow, but you can do it. It's a mechanic in the game. If you want to go and be zoomy blaster boy like me and fucking have oodles and oodles of damage, but the moment something looks at you funny, you just die. Yeah, it's a fucking option and a half right there too. It's just you want to be Giga Chad tanky and just walk around and things just burn because you're so fucking awesome around you. Yep, that's a build. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that those things are a build,
and
but
if you
you
want
can
to run
also
dunes
tailor the
while doing
content.
it,
Yeah, you can tailor the content to your build hyper specifically. Hyper specifically. Think about that for a second, dude. You ever sit there and be having trouble with like a PoE one, like getting to like from like say 74 to 75? So you decide, you know what, I'm gonna just swap over to a different mechanic, and then your build is just like fine. You know what I mean? Like it's just
I will admit I'm not that smart. Sometimes like I
and,
try to brute force certain things. I'm like I can't do this. I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, and it's because I get hard headed. I get hard headed. I'm thinking yes, the answer is what you said, right? That's the right answer. But like I become obsessed and I become frustrated that I can't do it, and it's like I'm not good enough. Wah. and
Where?
and then that happens and I start going to like this like phases of depression and I start dreaming about it. I start going to sleep and being sad, and then I get up the next day and I find a div and I fix it and like I'm happy again. That's usually my end game experience every goddamn league.
You know, and you know, it's awesome. The game gives you the option to play that way, so you can. Like, it's just, you know, I don't know when video game designers started had kind of feeling like our feedback isn't something that we know what we like and what we enjoy about the game, and just giving us what we want wouldn't just lead us to having a really good game.
Well, Talkative Try on YouTube had an interesting point. He said that I think GGG as a developer, they're looking at Path to really like they want to reinvent themselves, but also reinvent Path in a way that has never existed before. So part of that process is that they really want to take a risk and they really want to like use Path 2 as a way of doing things that have never been done before within the ARPG realm.
You know, but this is my rebuttal to that is you could have easily done that, kept the same general rubric, follow the lessons that you've learned before, and tread new ground in a new engine after getting the basics. And I know that a lot of people think are like, oh well, that's what they're doing now, the rubric of the map and all that shit. But like, no, but now you see that a lot of the lessons that they learned have just been thrown out the fucking window.
Yeah, they've thrown out even everything. Like
Like what we're seeing
it's like
isn't just some
portals.
like
Fuck
innovative
portals. We don't need no portals.
fuck multiple tries in your map. Like this isn't about like innovating. This isn't an innovation problem at all. I don't mind them innovating. Every time they release, well, you know, not up until recently, up in they're
Their
releasing
leagues,
new
yeah,
leagues.
yeah, their
Like, dude,
leagues.
they're innovating. That's great. I
Yeah,
like their
yeah,
innovation.
yeah, yeah. All right.
Innovate and iterate, guys. Keep going. But you learn plenty
Like
of lessons.
the
The game Path
Krangler.
of Exile, it's like trying to pretend that Path of Exile 1 didn't exist and trying to make a Path of Exile 2 still. That's I feel like that's what we're looking at. They're trying to forget that PoE 1 existed, that they learned all these lessons, all these things that they could do,
Hmm. I think
and just trying to make a game after trying to hear
if
after hearing about it.
if
Sorry.
you're gonna blow up the formula, then don't call it Path of Exile 2.
Make a different game.
Call it Path of Water.
Nah, don't even do that, dude.
Oh.
Fucking call it fucking the Exiled of Ever Eve. I don't give a fuck. Don't call it Path of Exile.
Yeah, because
Like,
you give the illusion that saying Path of Exile 2 meant you're gonna have you're gonna build upon what was done before. And I think that expectation is what made early access, which again, a lot of the Talkative Tribe and a few of these guys are agree with this point, is that this is what led to the bonfire of early access because a lot of and in a lot of the promise that was made up until early access of like this is you're gonna have your microtransactions is you know what I mean like it's gonna be kind of like my Path of Exile 2 but much different but then still based on Path of Exile 1 so a lot of people had that assumption walking in and then it wasn't that at all
wasn't
and
that? If
yeah
you're here, press a button.
if you don't think we're hating press a button
If you do think we're hating, press a button.
if you're gonna play Path of
You
Exile
know,
2 don't know my heart press a button let us know
if you're not, also press a button.
let us know drop a comment. Why? Why
If you're
not?
eating or taking a shit, press a button. Just the one thing to gather here is press a button. Okay, so we can continue.
But pressure part. Uh, what else? I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that covers. I'm missing a
Most of it.
probably a gross amount of things. I am. I
Did you
am.
talk about them canceling the bear?
Yeah, I don't think I did. No, they're canceling the. Nah, they're not canceling the bear. The bear got me too. I mean, the.
Wow,
Hey, is me
love
too?
it.
Is me too still a thing? I don't
I
even
have
know.
no idea.
Um, uh, the bear is on pause until further notice because there are a there. This is theory. This is theory. I haven't seen any information on this, but they're remaking the bear. Um, it probably isn't going to be matching the style of gameplay that they expected players to like, which is that slow trade blows, combos, switch back and forth, and then be and for a white mob. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Uh, Things get a little more hectic when you're dealing with breach and you're dealing with thousands of creatures, right? To be doing all this back and forth shit. So they're probably really looking to really remake the druid. And the reason why this theory holds firm is because back in early access, one of the things that they said was the druid was 80% done. For something to be 80% done and still not released with the huntress, that means that they're looking at that bear like, I don't know, this ain't gonna hit well. That huntress though, if you look at that huntress video, that huntress is zippy as hell. It's like dodge, 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 stab, 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 dodge, 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 stab, 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 lightning,
monk.
throw it. Yeah, yeah, it's like it's zippy. Monk, it's like female stabby monk. Um, but that bear video, if you look at it, has aged like toe cheese, man. It 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 looks slow, sluggish. Like everything about it's like the same problem that the warrior has. And they're looking at it like, let's not make that same mistake. Let's go back. Let's wait for it. So that the bear might not, the bear might take until release to really come out. Could he be out in 3 months? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't bet on it. I don't bet on it though. If they're remaking that bear from scratch, or at least going back how much ever, maybe it's still gonna be a bear. Maybe they're gonna add a tiger. So maybe there'll be
Toiga.
maybe it'll be like a pelican or something. I don't know. Like maybe they'll give him a fast mode, zippy mode. I don't know. But right
Pelican.
now, I don't know. But fly pelican. This is
Pelican.
this is Scarface term reference.
Yeah.
What else? I'm looking through my notes just to make sure I didn't miss anything. No time now. I think that's it. I think that's it. Look, I mean, if you have if we didn't miss anything, you know, I'm sure you've heard it in a different channel. But these are some of the important points that came to mind when reading it, listening, listen to a godly amount of videos, both from the actual interview and everything else, and taking as much notes as possible, and just taking out basically, oh, this is gonna piss off coffee. Ooh, I don't like this. It's just like writing notes. Um, so yeah, it's pretty much in preparation for this episode. But yeah, in the meantime, we'll be playing things. Um,
I'm playing Tekken.
yeah, we'll be playing. I'm playing Baldur's Gate when in my off hours, trying to play, Act Two right now. You're like, you still playing at Baldur's Gate is a great game, bro. And for those of you who are out there like Baldur's Gate, like, nah, bro, Baldur's Gate is a great game. With or without mods, it is a great game.
With
So
mods, even better.
yeah, yeah. So don't get stuck. If you're still playing Path One, wish you guys all the luck as far as looting, as far as any kind of strategy. Things are winding down a little bit and slowing down for Path One a little bit, but it's still going hard. It's still going strong. Whether or not we make more game Path of One Exile, Path of One Exile. What am I saying? I think my brain is melting.
A little bit.
PoE one, PoE one content. We'll see. If we do something interesting that we want to share with you all, we'll make it and we'll share it. We don't want to bore you with any stupid rambling unless we have really something awesome to talk about. Otherwise, oh, 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 um, um, Steel Hunters.
What hunters? Steel hunters, yes.
When is that coming out?
It's second, maybe out.
Steel. Early access coming soon. It's like, today it's 6 hours. Tomorrow,
Yes.
we're playing that. Okay, we'll
I'm
be playing
actually
Steel
excited as
Hunters.
fuck.
We'll play Steel Hunters.
He's all excited now.
I love mix. I played the closed beta. I played closed beta and then Coffee was mad as fuck, and I told him
I
all the
was, yeah.
information, and he's still mad as fuck. I want to play a doggy, and play Ursa and be a bear and there. So apparently I'm gonna be a druid and steel hunters. So yeah, that game is gonna be dope. We are gonna make some bonus episode of Steel Hunters. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hell
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what we're gonna be doing for this weekend. So hopefully you guys you like it. I mean, if you don't like Max, man, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Max, bro, come on, stop playing.
Some people.
Some some people like our
Some
friend
people's
Alex,
kids.
they're like, oh, it's a robot. No, it's a mech. Stop it. Ain't a robot. I mean, technically, categorical, yes, it's a robot, but it's a mech. Get out of here. There's a little person inside of it.
Mexan.
There's a little person inside of it, like the old Gundams.
There is a pilot inside a mech.
But yeah, thank you so
Yep.
much, and have a good one. Enjoy it, and catch you on the next one.
Good night, peeps.